Hello and welcome to the chat with Illuminessence. I am here with May-Marie. It's the two of us today, so we get to dish about all the things on our minds.
What's trending?
What's happening, girl code, Oscars,
Beyonce.
International Women's Day, lots of juicy stuff for today.
Yeah.
So May, you wanted to start off talking about girl code and this Khloe Kardashian tweet that kind of started a big firestorm.
Yeah. I know, it's really interesting because she just had Twitter come after her.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting because it was her responding to Beyonce's song with DJ Khaled. And I think her intent was really trying to support her sister or defend Kim. With Beyonce talking about, oh, everything is real and she's a triple threat. And obviously that's shading Kim. And everybody went off on Khloe on Twitter saying, well, look who's talking about women holding each other's crown, and women should hold each other's crowns up and we can all be queens. But interestingly, what the backlash was because everybody was like, well, look who's talking about girl power or girl code when you've had a history of going after your friends' boyfriends or your friends' exes. So really, it's interesting, and I think the reason I wanted to talk about it was because when we really talk about girl code, we know that this is something that happens a lot.
Yes.
Where people will on the side, probably even when you're dating the person, start messing with the person behind your back, or right when you leave, they jump right in there. And it's really interesting because I think because it's obviously International Women's Day just passed, and we're still celebrating women. I think it's so important for us to have that conversation because really if we're going to hold each other's crowns up, then we shouldn't be going after our friends' sloppy seconds. Like, you just can't do that. I think it's absolutely...
So if I dated one of your exes,
like
you'd have a problem? Is that what you're saying?
Girl, well, first of all, I want better for you. So if I've already left that person, I don't want you to go there. Because if he was a keeper, I would still be there. So
right.
I think if you care about somebody, you can't be like, oh, that's really who they're going to go with. But obviously, everybody has their reasons why they do whatever. But I really stand by girl code because I think there's always somebody for somebody, and I know, like, I'll find somebody else. I don't need to go after somebody who my friend is. Even if we're not friends, even if I know you are with that person and I know you as an acquaintance, I'm not interested. Like, I'm not messing with you.
So I guess part of the question is, do we think, first of all, that Beyonce was throwing shade at Kim Kardashian? I mean,
exactly.
Well, I think my issue with the Kardashians and Khloe in particular, she has to say something like this on Twitter because she doesn't have any other platform. Beyonce is right. She is a triple threat.
Yeah. She's
got talent.
Exactly.
She can sing, she can act, she can do other things. What do the Kardashians offer except gossip? Sexuality. So to stay relevant, she's got to make a song like that about her or her family to create a buzz on Twitter. Because otherwise, what are they really doing? I feel like it's almost just a way to keep drama going.
To keep the drama going. I think for sure. I think so for sure. But and you're right. Like Beyonce, I'm sorry. Like the queen can say whatever she wants because she's the queen. But to your point, she's not just saying it because she's the queen, but it's because she really has something to back it up.
Exactly.
She's a triple threat, like she said. All her body parts are real. Yeah. And she broke the internet twice, but it's for something good where she's actually having twins. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Not for the other.
Exactly. So I think, Queen Bee can say whatever she wants, and we're going to have to listen because, you know what, like, you don't say something you can't back up. Yeah. So I think she can say that. But again, back to Khloe, you can't be talking about girl code when your sisters have all, like, Kim went after Kanye when he was with Amber Rose. Now we find out that Kylie went after her current man, even though he was dating one of her friends. But these guys are also weird. Like, why are you going after their?
I feel like that just keeps them getting attention. I think they're attention seekers, and when you come to the world of Hollywood or reality TV without any real talent, you have to figure out ways to get attention. And I think that's what that is.
That's what it is.
If you had talent, you'd be worrying about the things you're good at. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe I'm throwing lots of shade, but if she had a book she's working on or an album, she wouldn't have time to be getting petty.
Exactly.
You wouldn't have time to be chasing.
You're right. Exactly. Absolutely. Anyway, I think we're have lots to talk about more. So we'll be right back with the chat.
Thank you for tuning in so far. We will be back with more of the chat with Illuminessence.
Welcome back to the chat with Illuminessence. So, continuing our conversation on all things trending this past week. So, just continuing on the topic of Beyonce. So, another shade in that song was basically to Tiffany Haddish.
Yes.
Talking about, well, if you interact with the queen, you need to, next time you got to get a non-disclosure. So, again, the backlash was Beyonce being a diva by stating that you shouldn't be talking about what our interaction is in private.
And this was a definite shade because she mentions Tiffany's in the song.
Right?
So unlike Khloe Kardashian assuming it was about Kim, we know for sure this was about Tiffany Haddish.
So I guess the question is Beyonce being a diva when she expects a level of privacy in her private interactions, whether it's at a party, or could she just expect, where she does expect a level of privacy, or should she just be cool with it, that Tiffany talked about what happened at the party?
Well, I think realistically you can't expect. I think you're at a party, you meet Beyonce, you meet Kanye, you're going to want to tell people what was said, and if it's something that's just even a little juicy, how do you sit on that, right? Yeah. So I think if you want ultimate privacy, it means you have to become like Michael Jackson was. You stay home, you don't go out, you just lock yourself away. If you are a celebrity and you're going to interact with people, you have to have some expectation. Yeah. So maybe you just have to reframe what you say. And I don't think what she said was bad.
No, I don't think it was bad because she was basically expressing that she was about to get into this fight with somebody, and Beyonce basically kind of calmed her down to get into a fight. And there was some actress flirting with Jay-Z, and she kind of told the actress to to back away. But I think I'm two-sided in this, right? I'm two-sided.
All hail to the queen. You're like
no, in the sense that, to be fair, you do want some level of privacy, especially if it's something that's a little salacious, right? Obviously, because we know Beyonce doesn't want people thinking that she's insecure to try to tell somebody don't mess with my man or whatever. So I think,
is that insecure, or is that just
a typical female thing? But don't forget, this is somebody who cares about her image. So maybe having this perception of her out there is something she doesn't want, because
I think that's out there
she tries to control her image a lot. So I think maybe that's why. So it's like how she said, if you want to roll with a queen, I don't see anything wrong. She has a right to say you need to sign a non-disclosure if you're going to hang with me, so that if you go around talking, then I have a right to come after you.
Do you think she will now walk around with non-disclosure?
This is the thing. What I liked about Tiffany was really good, because she was like, yo, where's the non-disclosure? I want to sign because I want to roll with a queen. So obviously she's joking. She's a comedian. But I don't think if Beyonce had a non-disclosure for events she's going to, people won't sign it. I think if you don't sign it, then if you don't want to go, that's fine. You have a right to say, I'm not going to bow down to that nonsense. That being said, I think we're also all human, so I think she should also leave room for some humanity to be displayed, because I feel like she tries so hard to control her image out there that sometimes we just want to see that she's human, she has feelings, and she doesn't have to be so contrived.
And I think that's what she said to Tiffany shows her. No one is going to look at her negatively. We're going to say, okay, she's a woman who's concerned about people hitting on her man. I mean, are you concerned about this?
Exactly.
We can all relate.
Exactly.
And also, when she told her to let the issue go and not cause that was good advice.
Exactly. She was helping her not get into a fight.
So younger girls or other women might say, you know what, I'll take Beyonce's advice here. So I think, at least in this case, it wasn't negative things that were really portrayed. A little bit of glimpse of her, every girl's insecure about their man. It doesn't matter who you are.
Especially when he's one who has a history of cheating.
That's one issue. But I don't know. I always want to hear the little juicy deep. As a fan, I like to hear this. So
as we're speaking, the beehives don't play. It might be coming for us.
Yeah, I know. That's
right. But
anyway,
speaking of Tiffany Haddish, actually, also another thing, like, she was so good at the Oscars. So everybody is now saying that she should host the next Oscars. What do you think?
I think it would be a great idea. First of all, you remember the Hollywood blackout. So you have a black woman hosting the Oscars. She's quick on her feet. She's funny. She's a little
ratchet, but definitely
she would be good. Funny. And then also for the Time's Up and Me Too movements and showing that Hollywood does value women, you'd have a double score there.
No, I think it'd be great.
Female.
Black, female, and funny.
And funny, of course.
And it will definitely mix things up a little bit. Definitely. It will not be a boring Oscar for sure. So I'm rooting for Tiffany.
Yeah,
for
I
the
hope
next
that
Oscars.
gets movement. And especially on social media, people start demanding that.
Yeah.
I think that Hollywood's going to pay attention.
I think so. And you cannot ignore her. Like, she's just everywhere right now, and she's just so funny.
Yeah, and she's hot.
Well, that too. So anyway, go Tiffany. Hey.
Yeah, we support you. We want to see you hosting the next Oscar. Okay.
And so
we'll be back. I think we have more to discuss.
Yes.
So what we'll do is we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back in a moment with more from the chat with Illuminessence. Tuning in so far, we will be back with more of the chat with Illuminessence.
Welcome back to the chat with Illuminessence. So I think what I'm really getting out of all of this is a really good tie into even the theme for Press for Progress for this, because as we're continuing to celebrate we just celebrated International Women's Day, and it's Women's Month really, because it has to go more than a day. But it comes down to just women supporting one another. So even when you think about girl code, because I always believe that women, we are like one of the biggest reasons for each other's heartache.
Yes.
Because if somebody's beating their wife at home, chances are they're messing with some other chick out there, which is causing the tension in the home to escalate. If a man is cheating on another woman, chances are he's either cheating with another woman, or except if he's on the down low, so it's a whole other situation. But really, at the end of the day, it's almost like we are, to a large extent, the reason for a lot of the pain that gets caused to other women. So the girl code is definitely a big one, because now the person has to deal with the breakup or the pain of that, in addition to the betrayal from somebody who might have been a friend.
Absolutely.
And the support that if that friendship hadn't been flaky and messing with the guy, would actually be a source of support to lift that woman up when they're going through that difficulty. So
there's so much competition, I think, among women. And does that stem from us not feeling our own value? So I guess, with International Women's Day and lifting each other up, maybe we need to realize that we are valuable on our own.
Exactly.
So you don't have to steal your friend's man who, is a successful guy to feel valuable.
Exactly.
Instead, you value yourself, you value your friend. Even, this is probably going to be another discussion, but even things like women feeling they have to stay in bad relationships to keep up appearances.
Exactly.
If we lift each other up to say, no, you can leave, it's okay.
And you will be fine.
And you'll be fine.
Because you know that you have support.
That's right.
From other women, and you have
willpower.
Yeah. You'll be fine.
We're so much more concerned about what are they going to think? I got with him, but now this failed. So I think ultimately, like you're saying, this level of support, if we say, we are good enough on our own. I think there's just that deep-seated feeling
that we can't. But definitely, and I think back to just as I think of it. So if we're gonna press forward, I think we have to be honest that yes, we want to achieve empowerment for women and equity for women and gender parity. All of this is great.
Yes.
But there's no way we can achieve it if we don't press forward in solidarity.
Absolutely.
If we don't press forward, lifting each other up collectively, as opposed to demeaning each other or being divas because we want a certain level of respect, or just all of it.
That's right.
And again, just before I forget, I think
we wanted to talk
about our Arabian
beautiful
outfits from Dubai. I think it's very important to represent, and just fashion is so beautiful, and such beautiful things from all over the world. I think it's great when we get to experiment with different things. So.
Oh gosh. Well, we're going to have to continue this, because talking about this made me think there was this whole Twitter story about the Iranian fashion designer. Did you see that?
Which one? No.
And she got snubbed on a morning interview show where they asked her about the politics of Iran, but she came back. We'll have to talk about it in another episode.
Yeah.
As opposed to talking about her fashion.
It became a whole other.
She was raised in America. Yeah, they made it about
the politics.
But she was very quick and very smooth with her response. She schooled them. So we'll talk about that in a future episode. But that is all we have time for today. So thank you for listening and watching, and tune in next time for the next episode of The Chat with Illuminessence.